a sales tax question that will be added to the Joplin's April 7th election ballot. I'm Nelly Lopez with more details on that coming up.
Adam Bazari was a high school senior set to graduate in just a few months, and now his mother wants justice for his death. I'm Blake Gully, and I'll have that story coming up.
And from homeless to helping others, meet the director who's transforming lives in Carthage.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A Joplin vote on April 7th will determine whether the city can afford to keep qualified police officers and firefighters. This is KOAM News. I'm Tanya Bach. KOAM's Nelly Lopez takes a closer look at what the sales tax question on the ballot means for the city.
In 2019, the City of Joplin passed a half-cent general sales tax designated for public safety pensions, which is also known as Prop B. The question that will be on the ballot for April 7th election is asking whether to continue the half-cent citywide sales tax on retail sales within the City of Joplin.
The main points is that this tax wouldn't increase taxes at all. It would keep it the same rate that it is right now. It wouldn't go into effect until Proposition B has completed its mission. There are contracts in place to guarantee the benefits to police officers and firefighters if this passes.
If approved by voters, the police and fire sales tax would not go into effect until after the police and fire pension plan achieves funding of at least 120%, which is anticipated to be in 2027. The police and fire sales tax would therefore be considered a replacement or continuation of Prop B tax, as there would be no overlap and no increase to sales tax.
We know we've lost a lot of our wonderful officers to local places. They still live in our community, but they drive an hour because of the significant differences in pay. We really need to do something here in Joplin if we want to keep our qualified officers and already helping serve their community.
According to the city, staff in the city's police and fire departments, as well as members of the local FOP and IAFF unions, have expressed desire that the council provide the option to voters in April so that employees can know sooner rather than later whether or not funding will be in place upon expiration of Prop B, to allow for the city to afford pay increases as agreed to in the collective bargaining agreements between the city and the 2 public safety unions. In Joplin, Nelly Lopez, KOAM News.
Bowen says there's a need to improve public safety in Joplin, including equipment, facilities, staffing, wages, and benefits. The Carterville City Council votes to place a 1% sales tax increase called Proposition A on the April 7th ballot. This measure aims to fund crucial infrastructure repairs, especially street paving. If approved, it would generate more than $200,000 annually, allowing the city to maintain streets on a 14-year cycle versus the current 56 years. Now, the tax includes a 10-year sunset, ensuring voter accountability. It would also support drainage, sidewalks, and curbs to improve safety and community growth. Meteorologist Austin Stantz joins us now with a first look at weather.
Thanks, Tanya. Temperatures falling quickly tonight, already in the low 20s here at this 10 o'clock hour. Cloud cover, partly cloudy right now. We'll see some scattered cloud cover throughout the night, heading to mostly cloudy conditions as we head into your Friday. Temperatures will be headed down into the teens as we head into those overnight hours tonight. So hot or ice tomorrow morning. Well, here at the KOAM coffee shop, you can go ahead and opt probably for that hot coffee. Check this out. 15 degrees tomorrow morning. So hot coffee going to be the way to go for tomorrow. We even have cold weather advisories in place across most of the 4 states right now. Coffee County, Anderson, Lynn, Bates, St. Clair, seeing some areas there. Those could be added in. But we're going to talk about what all this means and how it could impact you coming up.
All right, thanks, Austin. Crews rescued dogs from a house fire in Independence, Kansas. The fire happened last night around 5:30 in the 1000 block of West Beach Street. On scene, crews found a single-story home with heavy smoke at the roof line, with an active fire in the living room, kitchen, and dining room. Responders rescued 2 dogs from the backyard as well as 1 from inside the house using recently acquired canine oxygen mask. No injuries were reported. Crews in Crawford County also responded to a house fire on Wednesday night. This fire took place along Highway 126. On scene, responders determined the house to be abandoned and allowed the fire to continue under controlled monitoring. This is a still developing story. You can head over to KOAMnewsnow.com for updates as they become available. Well, tonight we're hearing from a mother living through every parent's worst nightmare. The mother of 18-year-old Girard High School football player Adam Basuri is sharing her grief and her memories of her son. KOAM's Blake Gulley spoke with Amy Basuri.
To be honest with you, I don't think I've had a chance to even, it still doesn't feel real. Still feels like he's gonna walk through the doors soon.
I'm standing in front of the football field here at Girard High School, the same field where Adam Basuri spent countless hours practicing the sport he loved. And from the stands, his mom would often come to cheer him on. And today she's cherishing those moments as she holds on to the memory of her son.
And it was such a joy to have him running around the house. It was totally different because I was used to having girls running around all the time, and everybody, of course, catered to him. He was the baby, he was the boy.
Adam's life was tragically cut short on January 9th after police say he was shot and killed by a friend.
Very hurt because I know him as well. So I'm hurt. Very hurt. He spent a lot of time here too. Adam knew him since he was probably 8 or 9.
As the family prepares for the road ahead, Amy's conflicted on what justice looks like.
At this point, I just would like justice. I wasn't the only one that lost a child. I mean, he's going to be gone for life, and he's got to live with this, and he's not going to be with his family, so I know we've lost 2 children.
As Amy continues to grieve, she says she's thankful for the support of the Girard community. Reporting in Girard, Kansas, Blake Gulley, KOAM News.
The next court date for the 17-year-old suspect charged in the fatal shooting is scheduled for February 6th. Well, coming up, exercising in the winter.
Hoping to get your workout in even when the mercury drops. I'm Kaylee Schuyler in Boston with tips before you get your fitness on in the freezing cold coming up.
And later, as calls for accountability grow, the Joplin community gathers to remember victims of recent ICE shooting.
Pool party of the year, February 14th.
An Arctic blast is impacting much of the country, but it's not stopping some from trying to keep their New Year's resolutions and work towards their fitness goals. Fox News multimedia reporter Kaylee Schuler has more on how to safely exercise in the extreme cold.
Extreme cold isn't a hurdle for the most dedicated fitness buffs, but before they lace up their sneakers, it's important to know, just like in the heat of summer, there are risks when working out in the winter.
One of the biggest risks is hypothermia.
Frostbite and falls are also threats for otherwise healthy individuals, according to Dr. David Buther.
You have to dial back time and intensity and expectations and take it easy. Plan ahead.
A big part of that planning is making sure you're properly layered up, starting with moisture-wicking clothing made of wool or a synthetic fabric closest to your skin. Over that, a thermal layer like a thick sweater or down jacket. And if it's snowing or raining outside, be sure to add a water-resistant outer shell to stay dry. Lastly, make sure to cover your extremities.
Gloves, sometimes even a couple layers of gloves if it's really cold. What do we need to do to protect our feet? Sometimes, a pair of socks and tennis shoes is not enough to stay warm. And face covering, scarves, hats. We can lose a ton of heat through our head, and our ears are very vulnerable as well.
And while stretching is always important, it becomes even more vital before exposing your muscles to frigid temps.
Spend 10 or 15 minutes kind of moving your body in ways that get your heart rate up and get those muscles warmed up. It's going to help prepare your body to fight against that cold. It helps injury prevention to get them warm before you go outside.
Still, the cold air may cause discomfort, including irritation of the throat or nose, possible burning of the lungs, and pain in your extremities. But if this happens, it's time to turn around.
The real danger is when you stop feeling the pain. That's when you're becoming so cold in your extremities that the nerve endings aren't working anymore. When you look at your hands, if they become very white, or sometimes turn blue, that change in color is a big warning sign.
And just as you would in the heat, make sure to limit your time outside. Understand that low temps aren't the time for your most intense workouts, and stay hydrated. In Boston, Kaylee Schuyler, Fox News.
Well, being a night owl could be bad for your heart. A study in the UK found that middle-aged and older adults who are more active in the evenings tended to have worse cardiovascular health than people who are more active in the daytime. Night owls' unhealthy behaviors like poor diet, insufficient sleep, and smoking may be the reason for the disparity. Austin is next with a complete look at your forecast. And later, high school students turn detectives for a day. We show you how they are learning real crime scene investigation techniques.
Well, temperatures are headed down tonight, and we don't rise back above freezing until Sunday. Take a look at our Skywatch storm tracker right now. We have this stationary front, which won't be stationary for long. What happens here is this Arctic cold air mass behind that is going to help turn this into a cold front and start pushing southwest here. That moves across the area as we head into tomorrow evening. Do have this small area of low pressure, not very strong, but trying to cause a little bit of a disturbance in the atmosphere. So we can't rule out maybe just a few light snow showers, just a few flurries, not even accumulating, no dusting really even expected there. But as it moves south of 44, that's where it could run into the low pressure and maybe turn into a little bit heavier of a light snow shower. But again, not expecting anything impactful from this evening. Clouds going to continue to be scattered throughout tonight. We'll see temperatures begin falling into the teens as we head into those overnight hours tonight, with cloud cover increasing as we approach tomorrow morning. Your grab-and-go forecast bagels, always a good option. I'm an Asiago bagel with veggie cream cheese kind of guy. By 6 a.m., you'll be at 15 degrees. By 7, we're only at 16. And by 8 o'clock, we're at 19, only getting to a high of 25 degrees for tomorrow. Now, taking a look at tomorrow, we're going to see that cloud cover begin to increase again as we head into the afternoon hours. You'll notice temperatures really rising very slowly and then stalling out in the mid-20s. We'll start to see that front begin to move through as we head into the late afternoon, early evening hours. That will begin to pass. We'll notice that cloud cover beginning to clear off just north of Kansas City here. That then pushes south. Clouds clear out as we head into the later evening hours of tomorrow. As that happens, temperature is going to completely bottom out overnight down to the single digits. Might even get below zero with all that cold Arctic air that's expected to move in with an Arctic high behind that. Winds going to be fairly calm Friday morning, around maybe 5-10 miles per hour, but then picking up as we head into the afternoon and evening of Friday, anywhere from 20 to 25 miles per hour. Adding to the wind chill Friday morning, it'll feel like 3 degrees out there, so a chilly start, but even worse on Saturday morning, down to -10, maybe -15 degrees at times with the wind chill. We're also expecting some high ice threats out there just due to the fact we've seen a lot of melting snow over the past few days. My wife today even actually just fell this evening walking out of the house. So it's important to be very careful out there. We're also going to see some cold temperatures as we head into Saturday there, as I mentioned, down below zero with the wind chill. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast here, temperatures back up by Sunday. Near 50 on Monday. Our next chance to see some rainfall, accumulating rain even possibly, by the middle part of next week. We're in the 40s, and then by next weekend we're into the 50s. So I'm looking forward to that, getting a lot of this melting ice going away, a lot of the snow going away, and then starting to think about spring a little bit.
And I'm not sure your wife's going to appreciate you telling everybody that she slipped today.
You know, it's just one of those things. Even if you're married to the weatherman, not everybody listens.
Maybe she shouldn't have told you. All right. Well, we've got the perfect way for you to stay on top of severe weather. Scan this QR code with your phone and head straight to the updated weather resources page on our website, where you can find information on storm shelters, weather updates, closings, and road conditions. You can also find tips for watching live streams in real time. It's called the Weather Resource page on KOAMNewsNow.com. Well, coming up next, a firsthand lesson in crime fighting.
At Greenbush, high school students get an introduction to crime scene investigation. I'm Kenny Foreman, and I'll have more on that coming up.
More than 100 high school students throughout southeast Kansas get a chance to learn how crime scene investigations work. KOAM's Kenny Foreman shows us how the Greenbush Education Center in Girard is opening their eyes to future possibilities.
I thought the blood splatter was pretty cool, learning about how they actually learn about it or learn about their suspect, what he does, and the footprints were pretty cool. I like the stuff they use in order to make that happen.
Whether it was hearing from industry professionals, chatting with college recruiters, or viewing demonstrations from MSSU criminal justice students, the Greenbush Education Center made sure there was something for everyone.
Hands-on is necessary for learning. It keeps them engaged and also gives them real-life experience. All of the kids here today are juniors and seniors in high school, so they're deciding what they want to do for the rest of their lives or for college.
Throughout the day, the students got to take part in several hands-on activities, such as foot impressions.
We learn from each other. I know I learn from them. It's a great experience for them to see different things in CSI that I didn't know once I got into the program, but I like it and I'm glad to teach to other students too.
Of course, it's not unusual for high schoolers to be unsure of what they want to study in college or pursue for a career, but the center hopes many leave feeling inspired to at least consider paths in law enforcement and forensics.
I hope they have an excitement for learning, if nothing else, and I hope that they had a good day and kind of learn behind the scenes of what happens at a crime scene. But hopefully today some kids will decide if this is the career path for them or not. And today I hope that they also start thinking about that future and that next step.
In Girard, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
The event is one of several scheduled this year to celebrate 50 years of Greenbush and highlight the resources the center has to offer. Crowder College and Franklin Technology Center signed a new agreement creating a pathway for nursing students. The articulation agreement allows FTC nursing diploma graduates to earn an Associate of Science in Nursing degree from Crowder College. Students must complete all general education requirements for the program. Officials say this is the first agreement of its kind in Missouri. Well, coming up next, Kansas celebrates its 165th anniversary of statehood today. Today marks Kansas Day, the 165th anniversary of Kansas joining the Union as the 34th state. Kansas entered statehood in 1861 as a free state after the violent Bleeding Kansas period. Now, the Sunflower State, with a slew of varying historic and artistical tourist spots, now leads the nation in wheat production and remains a major supplier of corn and beef. Schools and communities across Kansas celebrate today with educational activities highlighting the state's history from the Flint Hills to small-town main streets. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way.
Tensions with Iran are escalating again as President Trump issues a new warning. I'm Greg Falcon in London. That's my story. Coming up.
And a border czar vows to stay in Minnesota until the immigration problem is solved.
The Big Bang.
You're watching the 4 States Most Watched News.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. The battle over immigration enforcement intensifies as Minneapolis's mayor calls ICE operations unlawful, while the border czar Tom Homan vows to stay until problems are solved. Now, the clash highlights the growing tension between federal and local officials. Fox's Jared Halpern reports.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey is pushing for an end to what he says are unlawful ICE operations in his home state.
This is not a time to bend our heads in despair or out of fear that we may be next, because if we do not speak up, if we do not step out, it will be your city that is next.
Frey in D.C. at a mayor's conference defending Minneapolis as a sanctuary city.
Thousands of federal agents have descended on a city. American citizens have been yanked away from their homes after that solely because they look like they are from Mexico or Ecuador or Somalia. That's not how we operate in America.
Frey's remarks followed border czar Tom Homan's vow to remain in Minnesota until the illegal immigration problem is solved. Homan is taking over ICE operations and wants to hold agents accountable.
I didn't come to Minnesota for photo ops or headlines. I came here to seek solutions.
Homan says the Trump administration is working on a, quote, drawdown plan to decrease the presence of federal agents in the state.
The withdrawal of law enforcement resources here is dependent upon cooperation. Like I said, one agent arresting one bad guy in jail means less agents on the street.
Homan also acknowledged the right to protest, but says he wants what he calls the, quote, hostile rhetoric to stop. Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Bitter cold couldn't stop Joplin community members from gathering at 4th and Main this evening to honor those killed during recent ICE enforcement operations. The vigil remembered 37-year-old Alex Peretti, an intensive care nurse, Renee Good, a 37-year-old mother, and Keith Porter Jr., a 43-year-old father of 2, all shot by federal agents this month. Advocates for the under-resourced organized the event, bringing together community members who say they want accountability for the deadly shootings.
Going into cities and just randomly ruining people's lives without knowing anything about them is wrong. It's so wrong, and it's not law enforcement. It's not any kind of legal enforcement. It's an invasion of everybody's rights.
The vigil comes as the federal agents involved in the shootings have been placed on administrative leave, and calls grow for changes in immigration enforcement operations. Another warning for Iran over how the government is treating protesters and the continued concerns about its nuclear program. The U.S. is indicating another round of military action is possible, and the European Union is taking a series of actions. Fox News senior foreign affairs correspondent Greg Palcott has the details.
As the USS Abraham Lincoln Aircraft Carrier Group and other U.S. military assets move within striking distance of Iran, the Trump administration is getting tougher on Tehran. A new report says the White House is considering military options in response to the regime's deadly crackdown this month on protesters. That's along with demands Iran negotiates a limit to how far its missiles can reach, a cutoff of support to its deadly regional proxies, and an end to its potentially dangerous nuclear program.
They should not pursue nuclear capabilities. We will be prepared to deliver whatever this president expects of the War Department.
Iran threatening to hit back against the U.S. if attacked.
Negotiations cannot take place under threats, and any talks must be conducted where excessive demands are set aside.
Countries in the area and beyond worried about the fallout from potential U.S. military action. That, according to the Trump administration, could be even more powerful than last June's strikes on Iran's nuclear infrastructure.
Any forceful actions can only create chaos in the region.
The White House is getting support from abroad. The European Union sanctioning 15 Iranian officials for their role in protest crackdowns. The U.S. also now branding Iran's Revolutionary Guard a terrorist organization.
Those who operate through terror must be treated as terrorists.
Both the U.S. and Iran are set to conduct military exercises in the region in the next few days, a possible warm-up of things to come. In London, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
Austin is next with a complete look at your forecast, and later, Doing Good.
Ministries has been a good neighbor to Carthage for over 40 years. On this week's Doing Good, we'll see how you can help them out. I'm Ty Parks. I'll have that story coming up.
Now that the sun is set, some colder conditions are going to begin to settle into the 4 states area. We will not go above freezing until Sunday. So the next 60 hours going to be pretty cold out there. Check this out. Right now we're seeing some cloudy conditions begin to move into the area. The stationary front going to become a cold front. Remember, a stationary front is warm air battling cold air. Well, right behind the stationary front is Arctic air that's going to continue to push southwest. As it does, that will help cold air win this battle here and push into our region. That front will begin to move through on Friday. We do have this little area of low pressure here that's going to try to create just a little bit of a disturbance tonight, maybe give us a flurry or two. Nothing impactful. If anything starts falling, it's likely to be south of 44 here. A lot of this may not even be falling right now near Pittsburgh here. That's likely just to be virga, which is precipitation that isn't actually reaching the ground. The surface level is still a little bit too dry at the moment. So again, that low pressure stationed off to the south of 44. So that's where we could see a flurry or two, but it's nothing impactful for tonight. We're going to see temperatures tonight drop to around 15 degrees. It gets pretty cold out there, It'll feel like single digits as you're waking up tomorrow morning. We're going to see cloud cover begin to scatter out just a little bit in the early morning hours. Could get some brief sunshine on and off for the first few hours of the day. Temperatures stalling out in the mid-20s. Then we're going to start to see cloud cover begin to encompass the area by the afternoon hours. With some moisture there, can't rule out a flurry or two, but again, it won't be impactful. What is going to be impactful is as this cold front passes, you notice all that cloud cover beginning to clear out of the area. Arctic high begins to move in. Temperatures really going to plummet after that, all the way down to the single digits, could even get below zero at times as we head into the overnight hours into your Saturday morning, along with the potential of a few wind gusts throughout our Friday as well. We could see wind gusts anywhere in the afternoon on Friday, anywhere from 20, 25, maybe even isolated 30-mile-per-hour gusts as that front begins to pass. Here's a look at what it's going to feel like Friday morning, around 3 degrees. That front then passes. Check that out. Anywhere from -10 to -15 degrees with the wind chill on Saturday morning. This is going to be impactful because we've had so much melting snow. It's really just kind of slush out there right now. So it's all going to start to ice over. Be very careful this weekend, whether you're walking, traveling, whatever it may be. Watch out for some ice out there. Also going to be dealing with those extreme cold temperatures. A cold weather advisory in effect starting Friday at midnight. Temperatures back up on Sunday, near 50 on Monday, back into the 40s on Tuesday and Wednesday with a chance of some rainfall. We're looking at upper 50s by the time we reach next weekend. So that's when people will start thinking about spring, especially as that snow starts melting away.
I can't wait for spring. But first, we have to get through another very cold and very dangerously cold weekend.
Yeah, well, you know what? It gets through pretty quick, and at least we're, the Northeast, they're dealing with another snowstorm on the way out there and some cold temperatures. So
yeah.
Just the next 60 hours we got to get through.
Just drip those faucets. All right, thanks, Austin. Don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. The KOAM Skywatch weather app. Well, officials in Saline County, Arkansas announced the closure of the county fairgrounds until further notice. The recent winter storm brought heavy sleet and snow, leading to the collapse of the arena roof under the heavy weight. Surveillance video shows the moment the roof gave way. You can see from 2 different angles, and officials are still assessing the damage. Still ahead, it's senior night on the wrestling mat in Frontenac as the Raiders battle Fort Scott. Those highlights next. Plus, Missouri Southern Hoops back in action to face Arkansas Fort Smith at home. We'll recap those matchups when we return.
It's been nearly 2 weeks since Missouri Southern basketball has taken the court, but the wait is over as the Lions clash with Arkansas Fort Smith in a doubleheader at home. The MSSU women's squad opening the night with sights on a 5th straight win. Third quarter, Lions up by double digits. Grace Frazier going to work, sneaking her way into the paint, laying it up and in to give Southern the 18-point lead. Now Frazier on the next possession, going to be passing it to Lily Thomas, who finds Nariah Clay out in the corner. She drains the triple. Lions starting to run away with this one. Last minute of the quarter, they're going to go down low, and it's going to be to the forward, McKenna Yokley, who backs down her defender, goes to work, and knocks down this bucket off the glass. Heading to the fourth quarter, it's going to be Yokley again, giving it to Thomas, who pulls up and knocks down the mid-range jumper. Lions cruise to the 59-36 win over Arkansas Fort Smith. Southern head coach Ronnie Russell was pleased with his team's performance after not taking the court for 12 days.
It almost seemed like we went on Christmas break again. We had that same type of time frame as far as actually played the same team after Christmas. And it's always a challenge, and you're always worried as a coach when you're having that much time off, how are they going to respond? And I thought our kids responded, especially on the defensive end. We responded extremely well. Offensively, we struggled to knock shots down, but we were getting good shots. So I knew that eventually they was going to fall.
Lions men's squad winners of two in their last 3, looking to complete the sweep. Opening minutes, Colin Ruffin looking to drive, knocking down the layup through the contact, count it with the foul. Lions take a 3-1 lead. Now Gavin Elkamil, the Pittsburgh native, with the give and go to Hunter Fitch. Fitch slams it home for MSSU. And it's the same connection again on the next possession. Elkamil, he'll be hurling this one to Fitch, who posterizes the Fort Smith defender. Look out below, Lions on a 9-point run. Isaiah Atwater running the point, He'll have a beautiful pass over to El Camil. In the corner, he'll drain the triple. Lions complete the sweep of Fort Smith, 86-81 the final. On the wrestling mat, the regular season continues to wind down with the Frontenac Raiders hosting the Fort Scott Tigers in the Cannonball Clash on senior night.